Good afternoon, everyone. Wherever you look, there's rain coming down, massive floods. Look at the middle of Australia's desert. Other deserts across the world, check, 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 check. More rain across the Midwest, grow belts, more delayed planting. Do you think it has anything to do with the increased galactic cosmic rays? Record snow, Arizona. That's an outlier for days before summer. And during these uncertain times, I've teamed up with Patriot Supply long-term food storage. A nice, affordable starter kit. 2-week food supply, 1,500 calories per day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinners, plus the 4-gallon storage containers included in that. This is a good first step in getting more self-sufficient. And if you click through the Prepare with Adapt 2030 page in Patriot Supply, you can get this starter kit for $75. Please remember there's a limit of 2 per household in this special offer. Everywhere you look today, it seems there's massive flooding going on across the planet. They're trying to say it's more evaporative oceans, but when you really look at it, it's galactic cosmic rays, in my personal opinion. Iran, all-time record floods, never recorded even back to the days of the Silk Road traders. And you can see how much the before and after images are of the flooding. This is epic proportions here. And then when we look at periphery countries that weren't so heavily affected with the floods, Afghanistan, this is how much water's coming down. So you can imagine the amount of water flowing through Iran and its deserts as well. Staying in the desert areas here in the Middle East, top left, Saudi Arabia turning into grass fields where we could grow crops. Love the camels with the purple flowers, Saudi Arabia, record floods. Years worth of rain in Qatar. And then we have lakes forming in Yemen and Oman. Jumping continents over to Australia, Lake Eyre. Legendary inland sea grows and fills again. It was empty for such a long time. Take a look at the before and after here. It continues to fill due to the record rains that are still draining into that basin. False color here really gives you an indication. Remember, this was completely dry, and then it started to fill 2018, record floods 2019, and this is what the streams in the desert look like through the outback and the driest parts of Australia. Another glimpse here for you. You can see where the river usually is, but the floods are extending far out of that. These rains are going to continue to fill that basin as we move forward. And jumping over to France, more hail, everywhere you look, hail nets up to try to save the vineyards and the fruit orchards. More input costs for farmers in France. Everybody's buying the hail nets now. They've run out of hail nets. They're still on back order waiting. Thought you'd bring you that story there. We're looking at 100-year high water marks for the Great Lakes. All of them. It's not just a trickle into one. They're all at this level. And as we look forward here, 500 millibar charts, more rain for the grow zones in the United States, more delayed planting. This is going to have them ticking over to planting in muddy fields so they can claim the federal crop insurance program. They have to try to plant in order to be able to get that insurance. And as we march out into June 5th, even more rain on tap with another low. And when we take a look at the consolidation of all the rainfall during the next couple of weeks up to June 9th, the dark reds and yellows, smack in the middle of the wheat belt. In just a couple of days, we're looking at 16 to 20 degrees Celsius below normal temperatures. All across the West Coast, 4 corners, more rain, and this is going to continue in, and that's the first rainstorm that we're looking at to continue to soak the grain belts in the United States. Wow, it just never stops. Look for food price increases and look for them to try to explain it away because your food's rising, and they knew the galactic cosmic rays were increasing. The powers that be know the grand solar minimums on top of us, and the complicit corporate media is going to try to explain it away. So you keep working your job, you keep paying taxes, you keep consuming to keep the gargantuan monster of CO2 moving forward. If it was such an extinction level event, we should not allow China and India to continue polluting. We should stop all commerce. No more ships, no more planes, no more advertisements on TV to have you buy stuff because it creates CO2 in the manufacture process. But I don't see any slowdown in the advertising. I don't see any slowdown in China. Well, except their economy and the decimation from Huawei that's going to wipe out the southeast part of that country. But look at Flagstaff, Arizona. Record snows just a week before summer. Record hail over in France. We saw the record snows in Denver at the LeakCon 2019. Yet somehow it's all based on CO2, but we're doing nothing about the CO2 except taxing the rich countries. The rest of the other half of the world can keep going. If it's such an extinction level event, why is the other half of the world still allowed to continue business as normal? Doesn't make sense. It's a fallacy. It's fake. It's not CO2. It's not you. It is the sun in a grand solar minimum. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. If you'd like more information like this, 30 Minutes on the Go, many Ice Age Conversations podcasts, Libsyn, iTunes, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you can find podcasts hosted across the net. And I will see you next video.